Tikulandireni kulikonse kumene mukutionera madzulo ano. Ndine Brian Banda ndi programu inanso sabata ino ya Times Exclusive. Amatipatsira maprogramuwa ndi Rainbow Pens. Mulendo wanga madzulo ano ndi Bambo Roderick Junaidi Kalumpha kuchokera komwe ku England, ku London. Takulandirani mwatilemekeza kwambiri.
Kwambiri.
Mwakusiya kuli bwanji kumene muchokera?
Ukuti kuli bwino.
Okay.
Ndithu panopa ukutentha kwambiri. Ukutentha koso Malawi.
Kumatentha sumene kuche?
Kumatentha. Pali ndi miyezi yake amaiti summer.
Okay.
Imayamba cha June, July. Kukatentha kumatenthadi.
Chabwino.
Moti nyusu mungavale suit umeko.
Chabwino. Iwowa Akalumpha ndi International Trade and Investment Expert. Nkhani za malonda komanso za investment. Sichoncho
zona.
Kutanthauza kuti chani?
Kutanthauza kuti tingoona kuti ngati vendor wankulu.
Vendor wankulu.
Vendor wankulu komano vendor wake woti amapanga zinthu za kuchoka ku dziko lina kupitisa dziko lina.
Okay.
You know, kukakhala kaya ndi mbewu, kaya ndi zina zosiyana-siyana, makomodity osiyana-siyana. Ndomwe timaona. Komanso timaona upangiri woti kuti dziko likufuna chani ndi anthu omwe angabweretse upangiri ukuthekera angakhale atiwo. Ndiye timaona in various countries, kaya ku UK, kaya ku America, Europe, ndiye kuti anthu amene acho angapite maiko ati ku Malawi, kapena ku Tanzania, kapena ku Kenya. We have done in West Africa. Yetu nkhaneke zimakhazi menezozo.
Mwakhanthera bwanji ku Mangalande?
Ku Mangalandeku ndakhala zaka 22 koma ku Malawi kuno nachoka 1998. Nachoka 1998 for school yanga nachitira ku Domas Government Primary School.
Okay.
Ku Zomba.
Okay.
Ndithu ndine mwana wa mudzi, son of the soil.
Okay.
Standard 1 paka standard 8 kumekuja. Komano after that napita kukamuza academy time eneyo kuli nthawi ya yopitira mwayi. Nde nakapanga nawo school kumekuja kukamuza academy kuchoka kumeko napita ku Malaysia.
Okay.
Kunali company chama Telecom Networks. Komano company yawo inali Telecom Malaysia.
Yes.
Ndamafuna kuti akasule anyamata oti akabwera kunoko azapanga za technology.
Okay.
Nde anatipanga offer scholarship.
Okay.
Tapita kumeko kuja zaka 4 anatikonda ananena kuti musabwereso ku Malawi.
Okay.
Khala ndikonkuno muzigwira ntchito. 1 year kena kono iyi Shell Centennial Scholarship Chevening. Amapanga za mafuta. Anati yakulu 10 mupite ku UK. So napita ku UK 2003. I did my MSc in International Money, Finance and Investments ku Durham.
Okay.
University. Ntaminili University yapa mwamba. Ndiapa mwamba mpaka leo. Tukumaliza 2004, 2005 I became a chartered accountant. Basi tu ndi omwe mukutiwonawo tukuyamba maganyu kumene kuchi.
Ku England.
Okay. Ndithu.
How has been your stay kumene?
Brian, I'm thankful. My stay has been brilliant. I have grown within the industry. As a profession, pangapo progress kwambiri, because I am able to run companies. Company yomwe imagwira nayo ntchito ndi company yaikulu yomwe imagulitsa ma various commodities.
Okay.
Kuyambira kaya ndi tea, kaya ndi macadamia nuts, china chilichonse.
Okay.
So timatenga ku Africa kuno, Malawi inclusive.
Company yanji me?
Yeah. Ndikopa kuti ndikakuza ndimuyamba bwera zafusira ntchito.
Okay. Ndisi muichula eh?
Yeah,
okay.
Sirichula. Yeah, ndiye timagulitsa macadamia, zinthu zosiyana-siyana. In fact, in the UK, we are one of the largest independent, privately owned companies. So, irindi my branches ku Kenya, modern mapita ku Kenya, kukagwira ntchito, irindi my branches in the Horn of Africa. Kuma ma products athu timagulitsa kwa America, Japan, United Kingdom, the whole of Europe, and certain parts of South Asia. Yet,
there's been a concern kunena kuti anthu amene akumakhala kunja sitikwachita utilize bwino. Ndi tikamakamba ulo ma program athu pano timanena kuti tindi anyamata, azimayi, atsikana extremely talented and super qualified. koma yo zakuno mulibe nazo atendi
yeah kunena kuti tibe nazo atendi ndiye kulakwitsa
okay
because if you kuti mukalankhulana ndi nyamata wina aliyese ku Malawi ndipo ndimafuna ngosindikiza pomwe mukunena kuti Malawi ili ndi talent kunja ine ndi ndazinzanga oti ambiri they are some of the best accountants that there are in London. They are working with most of these big firms, makampani akulu, whether it is Deloitte or Ernst & Young or KPMG. Anyamata ku Malawi kuno, ori akulira ku Malawi kuno, ena wajambewa ku Malawi kuno, but they are doing big things. I have got a friend who is a vice president of Deutsche Bank. He's Malawian from Machinga. So I want to agree with you. Kuti Malawi has got talent in the diaspora. Now, in terms of kuti ifeyo ngati city mafuna kuzathandiza ku Malawi, zimezo zoti zolakwika.
Okay.
Wina aliyese Malawi, wina aliyese amakonda dziko lake. Tikakhala ku Malawi tikakumana kunjaku muyenda. Timakambirana za ku Malawi. Kuti kodi dziko licha tingalithandize bwanji. Kodi anthu athu sitimasangala kuti tikamaenda, oh, where are you from? I'm from Malawi. Ndazukuza kuti, oh, your people are eating chitedze. What is chitedze? Munupesesa?
Inakupezani ibene?
I mean, inatipesa.
Okay.
Inatipesa. Kuti people are eating chitedze. And we have to start explaining what is chitedze. Ndesi nduzo tuka yenu Banda. Chitedze nchizungu ndishani.
Ino ingobera ni mzakambezi nwe mabwerera.
Yeah. So we've got people, every other Malawian in the diaspora is very patriotic. They want to see this country change. They want to see progress because they know that their success in the diaspora is inextricably bound to the success of their families in Malawi.
Koma chimene chikuma kuchitani choko.
Inde.
Zofunika ukonza. Ndi chani. Amadandaula chani za ku Malawi kuno kuti ku Malawi kucha wina ananena kuti ndi kwa usiku.
Inde.
What is the problem?
I think and I think many of my friends, there is this pali kusiana kuku mumatinena kuti machona.
Okay.
Mukunipesesa. Okay. Ngati mene ndabwerera enemo. Nchona iwe foti ndakhala ku Malawi ku UK okunja since I was 18 years old.
Okay.
Mukunipesesa. Mumandichula machona. But I can challenge you kuti amalawi ambiri omwe ali ku diaspora amadziwa zinthu zomwe zikuchitika ku Malawi kuposa so even anthu omwe ali Malawi munomo. Now when it comes
mabodza?
Yes, mabodza. Things that are professional. Things that are important to the running of the economy.
Yeah.
Things that can actually change the destiny of this country. You understand? Zinto zoti, whether it is to do with the economy, the banking, the way of doing business, they know. Of course, mabodza wa makalab.
Okay.
But zinto zoti which are substantial to the well-being of this as a nation.
Amadandaula jani anzano za ku Malawi.
Amadandaula kuti, especially professional, is that there is no, Malawi is the only country that does not tap into the talent that is there in the diaspora. I'll give you an example. Mumamziwa Ethiopia. Ethiopia and Somalia. Mukaona makantri amene ajawa, they are doing far much better than Malawi, unfortunately. Somalia yudi imamenyedwa nkondo. It's doing better than Malawi in certain aspects of the economy. Why? For iwaja anazwa kuti in order for them to grow, they need to tap into the resources yomwe ili na ande anthu awo akunja. Mukunipesesa? Ethiopia has been built largely by remittances of Forex from diaspora. Kuma ku Malawi kunoko palibe yomwe amandimbira phone kuti we are looking for fertilizer. Ndiye ku England ndiye kwenu mwakhala zaka 20. Or it doesn't have to be me. It can be somebody else. Mwakhala zaka 20. Kodi awawa kunena kuti angapange supply fertilizer. Tapita ni mkango tuonera just do some due diligence. Mwina first ngate kubwera. Ndiye mutuuze mutupase report. There are so many friends who would be willing to do that. Koma we don't get that. The only time you mumatifuna Banda, if I know so mulingulumena. Is panopa pomotu September 16. Nde mumabwera inu mkali chairman wa Diaspora wing. Inu secretary wa Diaspora wing. So when zintu zijazika kauti zaenda, you don't remember okay, there are these contracts that needs to be done for the nation, but we need foreign, input, and we've got our people. Let us call them. I need to mupeza kuti akupita anthu kuti they have got no clue of how the UK works, of how the business is done in UK. They want to come and negotiate contracts. Yet you've got people in London who can negotiate, who can actually help negotiate those contracts. So to answer your question in short, ineno ngati vuto lili kuno, Malawians who are in the diaspora, they are very patriotic. Amafuna kuti athandize zinthu ziyende. Koma anthu akuno omwe ali ndi maudindo, they don't reach out kuti tiyeni mulithandize izi.
Ndiye ku Somalia ndi ku Ethiopia apanga chitukuko chifukwa cha ndalama zimene anthu amatumiza from diaspora.
Yes.
Kunoko chikuvuta njani?
Kunoko mmene ndikunenera kuti there is ife timaona kachimakhala kuti maybe tikamuza amene uchoti abwere ndiye atitengera shaini. I don't know.
Okay.
You know, maybe nanga tigawana. I don't know. It could be greed. It could be something else. But there's something about Malawi and the way things are done that does not work for the diaspora. They think the people who are in Malawi, they think the diaspora, maybe kendukira, you know, maybe it's historical. Antu agamatawa amatawira kunja, ndiye amaona ngati kuti aliyese muwapita kunja ndowukira. So maybe we still have that mentality kuti antu omwe ali kunja ndoti they don't have to be part of what is happening in the country.
Tikumapanga ma mistake ngati mwakamba ya for example ya contracts nachitika nkhani ku England komweko. Fertilizer kwali paiza ku Buchala. Ma mistake amene akumabwera chifukwa chani?
Okay. You know, business or in any sense is who you know. Okay? It's who you know and the power of your network. If you don't know anybody in business, you can't do anything. You understand what I mean? Now, on international trade, it also works like that. If I want to move goods from kuchokera ku Malawi kuno kuti ndigulise mukanuza kuti muli ndi ntedza o muli ndi macadamia o muli ndi tea ndifuna ndigulise ku UK mundimbira ine and ine ndimadziwa anthu omwe amagula ntedza mukunipesesa koma ngati inuyo simukuziwa yemwe amagula ntedza ku UK you end up selling to somebody who has got not even the means kuti angakugulire ntedza. Because due diligence is part of doing international business. Zomwe zinachitika pameba chapa. To me, I could be wrong. Due diligence was not done properly. So anthu aja kuli madobadoba kunja kusoto. Anthu aja ni madobadoba maybe now zoti no if we can, because where that shop actually is not far away from where I operate.
Okay.
Because that's in the east end of London. It was just a question of if somebody knew me, or it doesn't have to be me. There are so many people who are in London to go and say, okay, fine, there's this, okay? You can argue to say, embassy, people who are in the embassy, that's their job. But you have to remember, those people who are in the embassy, they are there for 3-4 years and they are gone. And some of them, they don't interact. They don't know how the society works. So, vuto lipameba jaba linalo loti anthu aja sana bangi due diligence yao bwino. They do not use the network, because you have to have the network to actually move goods or even buy stuff. So that is the problem that Malawi has. They don't know, they don't have the network, they don't have the negotiating skills. It's like we are working in an insula. Malawi looks inside instead of looking outside. And when you're looking inside, it's like what happens? You end up, like giving birth to kids.
How can we improve trade with the outside world?
For me, the first thing that we need to do is we need to train our people. That's the first thing.
Okay.
Because if you look at trade in Malawi, it has been dwindling. Okay. In 2023, our exports was about what, $1.13 billion. Okay. But if you compare with our imports, they were about $3.11 billion. So $3.11 billion. Now, if you take the exports of $1.1 billion and then divide by the number of people who are in Malawi, you come kuti per capita, we were exporting $53 per capita. So iniyo menemuliremu ndoti Malawi inabanga export zintu za iniyo noka za $53 yoka. Now $53 is very small change. You can't even go for a meal in certain countries. Okay? But when you look at our imports from outside, okay, at $3.11 billion, and if you do per capita, you see it's about 3 times, which is $147 billion. So the first thing is that we have to understand all these statistics. And then we need to look at the indices. What are they saying? You know, Malawi is a very, it's not a complicated economy. It's easy to run. One, it's very small. And if you look at, the indices, like the Economic Complex Index, it's about 67 out of 131, which is very good. It's very good. It means it's not complicated. But then if you look at the ease of doing business in Malawi, we're about 109 out of 190, which is not good. Kusonyeza kuti tizapange business kunoku zimavuta. And then if you look at competitiveness, kuti kodi Malawi tikaipanga ranking ndima maiko ena, competitiveness, we are 128 out of 140. Ndekuti kumbuyo kwathu tiliko only aliko only 12 omwe tikwaposa out of 140. So the problem is that the officials, they need to understand the statistics and see how best can we do. How can we improve our trade? How do we train our people to be able to go there and negotiate for better deals for us? Exports, they dwindled. Zambia, which is our neighbor, they did 900 million pounds worth of exports to UK. Do you know how much Malawi did? About 57 million pounds. That's literally tiny. That's literally tiny if you look in the grand scheme of things. Palibe, it's like ifeyo tikungopanga ka drop. Now, timanena kuti ya kuli trade and investment forum kuli chan. We go there with that. I've attended in napita kuma forum amene wawa, and then you look what azinzatu zomwe akupanga ndi azinzatu zomwe tikamapita kumene kuchaku abanda. I'm telling you, people go with notes. They want to do the deals there and then, because people don't have time. You want to structure the deal there and then and say, okay, this is what we have agreed. Now, when you see our fellow Malawians, when they go, we go there as tourists. And how can you improve trade? You know, if you go there as a tourist, so to answer your question, how do we improve trade? Is that firstly we need to train our individuals that trade, international trade is like doing business in every other aspect. You should be equipped to be able to negotiate, be able to draw the contracts, be able to deliver when the product that you are actually transmitting or sending and exporting, it has to be of the best quality. So those are some of the aspects that we can do.
So tinga gulitsejani, because the challenge even here Forex we are not selling.
Yes.
I wanted you to comment on that. What can we do to address our Forex challenge?
There is a lot of things that we can do. Okay.
It's doable.
It's very doable. I am
Forex.
We can eliminate Forex within 6 months. And I'm
within 6 months.
Within 6 months.
Okay.
This is very much doable. The first thing that you have to look at it, one, we're not good negotiators. Most of my investment my investment companies, I'll tell you about Kaelekera. Okay, Kaelekera is a very classic example. In 2012, Mabwera, and that was already they'll give us 85%. Okay, I mean they'll give us 15%, and the Australian company was taking it 5%. That's the first problem that Ifeo and Malawi till now. Okay, we are not able to negotiate, because when you negotiate, you set your position. You say, well, okay, fine, Ifeo, we want to come at 40% or 50%. What are you putting? Malawi already has the uranium. It is ours. So if we can structure those deals and make sure the remittances are coming, we already having the Forex deal. I mean the foreign exchange problem. That's number one. We need to be better negotiators in terms of our investment. Number two, in terms of the commodities. we have vast amounts of commodities that we can do. Okay, we are relying on tobacco. Tobacco, I think in 2023, it brought us about $403 million or $400 million, somewhere there. Tea brought us about $76 million. Okay, and then there was soya. Soya brought us about $40 million. Now, these are commodities that we can actually improve. Problem now, when we are setting the prices for these, we undervalue ourselves. Because you have to remember, if you're selling tea, okay, I'm selling tea as a Malawian, and then Kenya is also offering the same tea. Why should the buyer who is in UK pay 10 cents more for my tea than the Kenyan tea? So me as a seller, I have to convince him that my tea, whether it is the labor, you need to study like who is your buyer. Chomama funa ndichani. What takes chuma abanga tiki you ajandichani. What is it about child labor? Is it about women being used in farms? Nditi matsokuri ku Kenya panani nthawi inaga mani nazimene so kuti it was a big issue by the buyers. Now, if as a Malawi or Malawi Tea Trade Association, tipitata would look, all the problems that you had in Kenya, we don't have them in Malawi. So buy our tea, but my tea is at $2.50. Are willing to pay it? Are you willing to pay it? The buyer would be like, okay, fine, I'd rather pay 50 cents more. I know there was no child labor, there was no exploitation of gender, there was no all these issues that I value, So, Zogulits and Zambiri, it's how we ourselves market. Okay. We are not good marketers of our
We are not good marketers of our own products.
We are not good marketers of our own products. Because we always believe, Malawian, I'll give you a funny example.
Yeah.
I was in a meet. We were supposed to go for a meeting, so it was at the Malawi High Commission. This is years back. Different regime. And anane auditenti pempere. Nde tose tinazolika. And this is true. Opempere sochanana amboye tikapita kumeko go mutipange kuti tisakaope pamaso pa azungu. I opened. I was like, tisakaope pamaso pa azungu. So already you're going with a mind that you should, instead of saying kuti mutipase kuti tikakafika kumeko kujaku, you understand? So it's a mentality. We go with a mentality that is already defeated. I don't know. To me, that sounded good. Already you're starting from a position where you think kuti you're weak. Because when you're weak, those guys will chew you alive. Mr. Kalumpha, I will not pay $1 for your Malawi tea. I'll pay only,
So tabwerera mbuyo ngati dziko.
Yes.
And we are not doing much in selling.
No, we are
not.
Chifukwa
kuti tilibe anthu amene akhoza kulilankhulira dzikoli.
Yes. I believe so. Ndipo kwambiri kuti ifeyo monga like Malawi.
Yeah.
Okay. Muone UK ni mawerenga pali. We have set up. They have set up a few friends of mine. They have set up what they call the UK to Malawi Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
Okay. They want to improve. I think it's been the CEO is Huntington Gondo.
Yeah.
They want to.
A friend of mine.
You know him,
I know
right?
him.
You know Huntington. Exactly. So Huntington. And Edgar Chiwaka.
Yes.
Edgar runs one of the biggest companies in the UK, doing a lot of things. Now, they have set up UK and Malawi Chamber of Commerce where they want to improve trade. And when they were looking at how trade has been going over the years, they have seen from Malawi to UK, the exports, I think in 2023, they went down by 36%. 36%. When everybody is going up, Malawi is going down. Why? Chifuatiribe and oti they can actually go and market. In my all these years, all I've seen is that Godipali, there was only one guy who could actually market Malawi. So problem lipo. In terms of personnel and skill and resource, human resource.
Say that again. But there was one what?
One Malawian who I could sit in the room and be proud and say, "Gudi kunogo tikamalankula as a team. This guy is going to speak a language." Wakuboma.
Ndane.
Am I allowed to mention?
Alipobe.
Alipo kumanabanga retire.
Okay.
Anabanga retire. I think he retired.
Anarika Twiri.
Oh yeah, he was good. That guy was good and he was very impressive. you could go and say, okay, gentlemen, this is what we're trying to do, and then as a government, this is our position. He knew everything that was, this is what we can do, and he didn't have red tape. For him, then he'll make a call. Bwana appears, this is this. Koma ena angolemba pamepaja. 2 weeks you'll be chasing the guy to say, so our problem is the talent and the skill and the human resource. We haven't invested, and this has made us go down as a country.
Ngati mukungo tipeza kumene mukuonera ndi program ya Times Exclusive pano pa kanema wa Times ndi bambo Roderick Junaidi Kalumpha amene ndi katswiri pa nkhani za international trade komanso investments. Akutipatsira programu iyi madzulo ano ndi Rainbow Pens. Program ya Times Exclusive pano pa kanema wa Times ndi bambo Kalumpha Roderick Junaidi Kalumpha amene amakhala ku Mangalande uku achironeka kuti munthu achironunkhira England munthu kuti koma anzatha kudya bwino atamenya white tikumakamba kuti chuma chathu sichikuyenda bwino.
Yeah.
Our economy is not doing well.
That's right.
Tingapange bwanji.
Ineyo, the first thing that we need to do, chomwe tufunike tipange, tipange digitize economy.
Digitize economy.
Digitize economy. Now, ndikamanya kuti digitize economy is kuti tipange zinthu zambiri, zomwe tikumapanga ma processes zambiri. Akale pa, anthu aziuza mafoni awo.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. Mukafuna kuti niyo mupange passport. Okay, mukapangise passport or even chanzika. Mumapita kwa mfumu, iya ndikatenge fomu, ndi fomu icha muifire, ndi mukadindise. We have technology yomwe ingapange zimene zichazi within an hour.
Ku England mukafuna passport mmana.
Timapita, sumapita so kulibe zoti chanzike china chilichonse chili online.
Okay.
Amangopanga online.
Okay.
So sumakhala so kuti ndipite ujeni form ili kuti ndikasainise form, everything is electronically done. Now by doing that ndekuti tikupanga minimize nthawi yoti zinthu zitenge. Mukuonvesesa. Wina akafuna yende ulendo opita ku South Africa or ayende opita ku UK koma alibe passport afuna passport, or even wina akafuna apange apply school koma akufuna chaunzika, and chaunzika chija takes 1 month to do. When akafuna apange business transaction, afuna apite ku bank akapange apply loan, chaunzika chake chapanga expire, akupita chaunzika chito, it takes 4 months to do it. Do you think the business in Now, if business is not going through, if people are not able to travel, economy ingakwere? Yeah. So ineyo to me in this modern day and age, as in that of Zambia, Tanzania, Kenya, akupanga zosezi. Koma ku Malawi kunoko ndabwera Saturday nali kumuzi. Nakagona kumuzi. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, no network. Kuti niyo mundimbire simungandipeza. Aliyense amachita kudandaula. And how can we grow an economy like that? Because in today's world, if you don't get a simubanga za technology, you'll be left behind.
Zama paperless.
No. People are going paperless. Agumati paperless. Chizungu chake agumati paperless for progress. Ndi kupanda mapepala kuti titukuke. Chifukwa zinthu zomwe zimatenga mapepala cha amatenga nthawi kuti awina kasayine. Munapita ku immigration. Let's take example for immigration. Munapita ku immigration mumapeza chinzere chantu. Mukuzwa kuti anthu tumanena chinzere kuli nzere. What we don't think is that the impact of that chinzere on our economy. Because anthu amene ajawa, they are queuing up ku immigration kuja, and they are losing productive productive time.
Yes, on.
Yes, and because they can't work, they have to queue up for months on end ku immigration kuja. Economy singakwere because mabanja ao ndio utakuvutika
aswera tsiku
lonse kuchini and they are not able to work or bring any income kunyumba kuchini.
Yeah.
And you think zinto zimene zimaoneka ngati zazing'ono we don't think about it. Koma mukatenga aggregate,
it's a loss of money.
It's a loss of money and a big impact on the economy. And when they are waiting to receive a call, ndimapita kumudziku, and there's no network. A guy to do mobile money transfer, Airtel and TNM, amatenga phone iji kumaipanga chunji. Ndine wema nimeona ngatuta upanga exercise.
Okay. Ausaka network.
Ndutafuza kulbanji, you know, akuti bwana network. I'm like, this is 2025 and we have to be doing like this for network. And this guy wants to be transacting money. There's a queue of people who are waiting to send money and receive money so that they can spend within the economy. Brian, those things, they look small. But when you aggregate them, they are bigger and they have a big impact on how our economy is faring. So, to answer your question, one of the biggest things that we should do as a nation, as a country, is that look into these issues. The technology is there and it's not expensive. And it's not good to Malawi. We have brilliant Malawians within Malawi who can actually digitize the economy. Make sure that my process will say alipo. But they have to be the will, either by the authorities. Okay? I'll give you another example. To open a courier company in Malawi, okay, you need $5,000. What is that for? And you need to go and pay to a certain parastatal. Now, what you don't understand by $5,000, because nobody has $5,000 in Malawi. How many people can just kungotenga $5,000 in kukaa nayo? Now, muone kuti most of the business now kunjabu is through couriers.
Yeah.
It's through couriers.
Yeah.
In last time I went to kukagula kushopu, I can't remember.
Even my groceries.
Amabweretsa kunyumba kwanu. Umangoika pa internet paja bandu kufuna mandasa, wandu kufuna uje zitumbua hizi, basi wika basket. Ima kandi basket.
Okay.
Wika basket, ungopanga click, upanga pay, basi ungomona ama jita so kufusa kuti mufuna mbutu tizibweri seliti. And ufuna ntisigula kulaku ifandiza ka nitabwera kushoka konsika. Ukamabwera zintu zichazabwera. That's what Malawi needs. You want $5,000 for a courier company, it's a courier company. How can you do E2E business? Because that's called like e-commerce. You can't do that. So you're killing the industry, and by not doing that, the economy is just suffering. So brand digitalization of the whole economy is key for our growth.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
We can look at trade to bring in the Forex, but Antwa to Munomo, Adzikalaguti, if they want to send money or mobile transfer, you should be able to send money mobile transfer anywhere, anytime, and you should be able to receive it. If you want to apply for Chanzika, you should be able to apply for Chanzika. And that Chanzika should be able to reach you in your house.
Chikupeze kunyumba.
Not kuti you should go and queue somewhere kudikira Chanzika. You understand what I mean? So if
even in my passport amakupeza kunyumba.
Even my passport amapeza kunyumba. Even my passport, the most important documents, amapeza kunyumba. You don't have to go anywhere.
Ndiye atsogolera tuwa sama bwera ku England ngokona kuti nzathu wata kutsogola, and how can we improve kumudzi buja? I just wanted to understand that. Chimavuta nchani?
Well, I've been fortunate kuti ambiri, some of them I've met them in London, even nthawi mwenali ku Malaysia, kuna bwana nthawi yakula minister Clement Stamboli when he was information technology and communication. I've met them, my CEO, because Malaysia was good in technology.
Okay.
So Nagmana now, and I'm a owner, and we took them for tours. In the UK, I've met a lot of ministers. I've met my government officials, my Reserve Bank governors. I've met them in my office. We have had discussions. This is what is supposed to be done. If you want this should be done. Kuma, I don't know, there's something, Brian, chumuikuti, andu hajaga ngukwera ndege pa Heathrow paja. Kungukwera ndege pa Heathrow paja, mkuzafika pa Chireka. Something happens in the air.
Oh yeah?
Oui. Something
something happens in the air.
I think something happens in the air because when they land on the ground, nothing. No follow-ups. You have to be chasing them. Kuti bwana, you said Kuti, this is what we are supposed to be done. You said Kuti, Forex problems, this is, this is how we should do. You have to be chasing them. When I came from Malaysia and I had to look for a minister who we had an agreement that when I come to Malawi, I meet you and all this. You had to be the guy. He was not in the office. You had to be chasing them and looking for him. Good Roderick. So to answer you,
do we have the right people in right places?
No, you don't.
We don't. Yeah?
No, we don't.
I want you to expand on that point.
Yeah, because in Maigwanza to Agunjawe, what they value most is experience. Okay, you can have a master's degree, you can have all the accolades in terms of education. Okay, but if you don't have the experience, sometimes they can overlook you. Okay, now in Malawi, we don't look at experience of doing the job. Okay, there's what they call learning on the job. Palantwena ama punzira panchiro paja dama kanduka daulo. So kunoko sitile antu sikuti ama patsidwa nchito because they are good. Okay, yes, they are. Palima ena ndori, they have worked hard, anagwira nchito, they know the nchito, and they deserve those positions. But the pamakama key individual positions ena, it's not about what you know. Okay, what you know and other, but it's about who you know and where you come from. Unfortunately, yes, there's nepotism in America, also in England and everywhere else. But the thing is that those guys, they deliver. You understand what I mean? They will still deliver. Pomo kunoko, you get the guy, put him there as let's say an ICT consultant. He's got absolutely no clue on what IT is. Just because he was there for you or for me when I was campaigning, or he comes from the same village as my great-grandfather, Gogwaki, Anali, Apachirongo, basi ndendi muike hapa. So, if you sit in that way nileka, pa maudindo omwe amafunika kuti akale. And that contributes a lot to the performance of the economy. Kuma bezeka kunja kuti mwapita ma meeting nde pali ma government officials. Brian, iwe ndu mafusu kuti kuda awawa pamipa kuti afike anabwera po banji.
Inuso kudabwa?
Iwe so kudabwa kuti how did this guy without not disrespecting Sikuti zamwano. Kuma iwe as somebody who wants to move things, you want to shake the whole thing. You wonder. I'll give you an example. I was at Victoria. You've been to London, right? I was at Victoria Station. I think this was 2013. And I was going for a meeting. I saw, and this is the truth, I saw two gentlemen, and I found them what they were speaking Chichewa. So, ngati Malawi nina sangalala kwa mbili, inda pesa Malawi. And ndikuafusa kuti mlibanji namva kuti kunali entourage ya president anabwera kumene kucha and anthu aja anali part of that. Now, you look at those things, right? Ma president ena amapanga. I mean, maiko amapanga. Trump ujaga mapita kuchintu. Mapita ku Saudi Arabia kaya kutiko. Amapita ndi antu. But you know those guys, they're business people.
Okay.
Everybody pameba jama kaguti alindi chintu chofuna apite akapange. Not because
osati woimba nyimbo za chipani.
No. Not woimba nyimbo.
Amene muna kumana nawo ndota.
Sindu kuzokuti anali kuti but definitely sikuti anali a business kapena trade kapena ujena. I don't know.
So zimene zonse zimabwezeretsa chikukuja dziko.
Yes, because you see the president ajaka maenda muja ndi anthu amapita nawaja. Amakawuri alisand portfolio yake. It's supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
Okay? It's supposed to be good. I'm taking Brian because he's a media guy. Now, we need media in our country to improve. Yeah. I'm taking this guy, for the EU, amabanga za solar energy, or we want to improve. Ndekuti, agabanga madiru. Agamabwera china Trump aja. Mumamva kuti, we have signed $50 billion deals for maybe Boeing.
Yeah.
Country manager, UAE is up and invest. You tell me, kuti, my president, agamabita kunja, who has come and told you, by airport, kuti, I have come and I've secured $1 billion worth of investment for Malawi. None. I don't know. And
so it's taking the right people with you.
It's taking the right people with you to those countries that you're going.
Yeah.
You know, because if we have seen them, and I'm pretty sure in the diaspora you've seen them, they don't take the technical people. They don't take the technocrats, the businessmen who can go there. And you also my businessmen in Jagamapita, they are supposed to know, okay, I'm going to have meeting, do we. These are the kind of things that, so they coordinate with the embassy. Osaka kuti chifuji ineyo ndikuchokera ku Domasi ndiye basi ndatenge amfumu hapa muzupa kwathu. Well, by the way, I'm from Domasi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm from Domasi.
Umene muchokera?
Yeah, okay. Domasi ndi muzangoona ngati kuti kapena zina zake. No, ine nabadwa kuma nakule Domasi.
So dziko lathuli likhoza kutukuka.
Oh, yeah.
Kapena basi dzidzakhala.
Malawi is the easiest economy. Economy yophekesesa kuipanga kuitukula. Ndeni Malawi. Chifasiri complex. Menen manene la muja kuti in terms of kuti is, you know, economic amanena kuti economic complex index. Okay? Ili number 61 out of 137. Kusonyizo kuti it is very good.
Okay.
Ndio savuta kuipanga kuisinta. Tita kuisinta Malawi within 3 years. I'll give you kujenu ku Botswana. Kuliduma Boko. Yeah. I don't know if you've...
I follow him.
You follow him.
Powerful president. So wangolowa kumene.
Wangolowa kumene.
Koma akulankhula zamphamvu.
Akulankhula zamphamvu. Akumalankhula and he will say kuti I want to change things within 3 years. He says within 3 years I want to change things. And mukamuonera zoma kumapanga, he's got mena napita ku America kuchi. Amabwera kumene kuchako amachita kuoneka kuti akupanga, these are the kind of people that he's meeting. He is saying 3 years. Now, if Botswana can do it in 3 years, and you can see things, you can see change already within the short period of time. If Botswana can do it, now you have to remember Botswana used to rely on us to provide them with a lot of accountants, judges, lawyers. They used to, if Botswana can do it, Malawi ndicho just a ticket. So to if you Malawi no takuisinta Malawi, I mean as Malawians, takuisinta Malawian, kuma ofunika kuti tisinthe zinthu zine zomwe timapangira kuti kaya tikupita kunja tizidze kuti kunja kuchi chomwe tikupanga ndi chani kaya tikufuna kuti but macra, what should macra be doing, you know? Should it be charging $5,000 for license, you know? It could be good, is that good for the economy, you understand? So yeah, Malawi ndio savuta kuisinta.
Nkhani inanso imene ikumativuta kwambiri ndi nkhani ya katangale.
Yes.
Mukuzimvetsa bwanji? Kapena mumamva chani za kumalawi komandi? How do we deal with this problem?
Katangale akuchitika. And ife munga ku England walisoso anthu ena oti anapita kumene koko akatangale oti anachokera kuno. Oti anabadwa ngati Malawi. You know, like some of the biggest crimes that has happened, financial crimes that has happened, I think mwawerenga manyuzi kuti you know, there's a certain individual yemwe anabanga ma contract panali ku UK zinonga. So I would not want to comment specifically because sinanga it's in court at the moment, I think, but everybody knows. You know, corruption is happening. Unfortunately, the corruption that happens in Malawi is such that you are corrupt and you don't deliver. You understand?
You are corrupt and you don't
deliver. You don't deliver.
Corrupt.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah. You can be corrupt and be able to deliver. You understand what I mean? Yeah. Because what is corruption? If I give you a contract just because I know you, already it's corruption. Now, kunja, they do that, the guy who has been in the contract, he delivers. Whether it was to build a bridge, he'll build that bridge to the biggest standards and quality. Mwonwe says, nthawi yomwe kunali COVID ija, boma la uja yonkulu uja wasitsi uja waku UK, tumande Boris Johnson, kunali ma PPE protective chanjani equipment ija. Amapatsa na ukauka koma anthu aja amakagula zinthu zija kumapezeka pomwe kuno kuli mundu pase PPE ine chifukwa ino mukundedzewa ndipeza kuti ndrama ija ndangoisunga nthumba PPE ija sinagule anthu pa ground akumwalira. Now that is bad. I mean, how wicked do you have to be to do such kind of a thing. That you know you've been given a responsibility by the boma kuti inuyo ndomwe mutatikulire mankhwala anzipatala and iwe zipatala zichosakagula mankhwala okagula mankhwala ndalama kucholera ndalama ntu so zimene zonse zikuchitikadi and ndiofunika kuti chitudo umenewo anthu omwe alipo ofunika authetsa dziko lingofunika kumalikonda chifukwa sitizakhalanso ndi dziko lina ngati ilili ife tayenda m'mayiko ambiri akunja koma nthawi zonse Brian, we always come back home because we know kuti the only country that we have is Malawi and Malawi will always be developed by Malawians.
Kumudzi kuno mukabwera chimene chimakubowani kwambiri kuti izizi tikadasiya Malawi mchani zitatu
ndikupaseni zitatu
kuti dziko lathuli because we are still talking about investment and trade.
Yes,
iziza Malawi tikadasiya
inde choyambirira attitude ndingane nchichori ngane kuti chani kupanga zinthu mapangidwe a zinthu ku munthu mene umakhalira khalidwe. Our attitude nthawi zonse imakhala negative. Iniyo kuti mubwere kunyumba kwathu okumuzi kwathu ndiye mufuna mpange china chake or even kumpasa munthu ndalama anati alinazo zambiri munopesesa oni ngodi umenewo. Now you mundrama zije munapereka because you funa mumthandize munthu sikuti muli ndi ndrama zambiri, sikuti you do have a lot of money but hii ndi ngodi umenewo. Now it's an attitude. Now attitude imene je imatengera kwina kulikonse even kuti mupite mu office munthu kungolowa. Okay, Mamodi Azungwaji you can go or not or even Indians in India or even in China everywhere they call customer service. Okay. You come there, the person leaves because they know the customer. Amati customer ndimfumu.
Yeah.
Or customer is king or queen. O gula malonda ndiye mwali pamwamba iwe ogulisa uli pansi. Koma kunoku is the other way opposite. Ogulisa ndomo mazona ngati ndiwe golo
ndiye kuma
golosali kusegula 10 kuloko anthu akuyembekeza kuti akule njere chifukwa in your grocery ndani. Now how can you develop? And this attitude is everywhere on micro level pansi midzi to all the way to government in Capitol Hill. People go there.
Capitol Hill?
Yeah, even in Capitol Hill. You go to get my government services, you're the taxpayer. You are entitled to, and muntu you is supposed to save you. They'll think they are doing you a favor. Kuti mwina yuti inuyo they want you kuti mwapembeze iwo aonese obwana. Attitude is number 1. Okay? 2, tilindi kalidoloti we are laissez-faire, easy. Timakapa easy. Malawians we are not on a hurry. Malawians we are not in a hurry. We are very relaxed. We don't have to, you know. Now, China mnaona mina makalira, even kuenda mwakwao, they are always fast because they know what the time. If you go to Japan, everybody has. If you go in London, people don't have time to even chat to you. Of course, I love my Malawians. We like to chat, but we need to get things done. In Malawi, we are very relaxed, easy. Brian, I need to That's number 2. That's number 2. Now, number 3, we lack vision. Because we don't know what if I move from here to there, you know, bola iwe ulizapo mpopompo.
Okay.
Zanga zandi
bola za kutekera.
Zandi tekera. Yeah. I don't care about what tomorrow happens. Now, in my Zinzatu, they think about future generations. What I am doing now should be kwa zananga. Ananga anao. Malawi business also. Very few Malawians think intergenerational wealth. Kudi chuma ineka kuchoka kwa ine agogwanga ngarana se chuma ninga yamike ndola nani silantaka.
Okay.
But I have to build it myself. Now pala zinzatu, even as zinzatu Malawians of Asian origin, munomu taona timaseka akukala kukaunta ndanao. But look at those kids now. They're running big industries. So vision, we lack vision. We don't know where we're going. As long as that concept, you know, bola moyo, That's not you. Bola moyo. It's not. You should be. Surviving should not only be the ultimate goal. Success, you need to have a reason to be, you know. Yet.
Nthawi yati tera komano pali china chifukwa mulendo amabwera mkalumuka kutu kumudzi kwathu timatero mulendo amabwera mkalumuka kutu
inde
kuti akadango ndipatsa muna ka 2 minutes
inde
pali mawa kukhosi muyangane kamera
ndiyangane kamera ndiyangane kamera no ineyo chomwe ndingalimbikise monga ngati Malawi woti zaka zambiri ndakhala kunja ndiyoti Malawi ndi dziko labwino kwambiri. Anthu ambiri omwe amabwera kuchokera ku maiko akunja amatisirira kuti tili ndi nthaka yabwino, tili ndi dziko lokongola. Koma ife Malawi ife sitimapanga realize kuti kodi chomwe tili nacho ndi chani. Anthu amanena kuti when you have it you don't appreciate it until it's gone. Malawi is all we have. We will never have another Malawi. And it will never take an American or somebody from space to come and develop Malawi. We fail as Malawians. We've got a responsibility to make sure that we build a Malawi that is beautiful for everybody. Beautiful for us, but also beautiful for the next generation and the generation after. And this is what other countries in the Kunjaku apanga. For zoma ukitsi nchilo ku UK, ku Germany, kwina kulikose, ndi zinthu zoti anapanga makulu awe 1900 umaipeza uchi. Kuma ineyo kuti ndipite ndikapeza 1900.
Inuyo zaka zonse mwakhala ku England ezo kumudzi kuno mwachitanya?
Ndi nazo nditakuloza ndito.
Mukuzoloza?
Yeah, nditakuloza sikuti ndikupanga, but I've created employment in Malawi. Yeah, there are families who ine ndikamapita to bed I know kuti I need to pay salaries.
Kumalawi kuno?
Kumalawi kuno.
Okay.
Nditu and azinzanga mu diaspora ambiri apangaso zinthu zoposa zomwe ndapanga ine. So I need to diaspora ekupanga.
Nthawi ino imene mwabwera ino ndi nthawi ya ndale.
Inde.
Ndiye siku lako akufunsa kuti mwangu tiyendera nthawi mwabwera nyama nomination kapena madzali pira nomination nthawi mwabwerayi njopsa iyi
pajama nomination ali pa
25
imene ndiya chani
imene ya parliamentary 10 million ndiye ya
presidential no
mwangobwera
ine ndangobwera kuzaona makolo ndangobwera
mulibe ujeni ma political ambitions kudomasiku
no. There are already people in Domas who have done for Domasi. There are others who are doing yomwakupanga, and I'm pretty sure kuti paliso ina umazapange azapange kusogolo. So ine mbali yanga ndikuchita. So zandalezo ya sina bwera kuzapereka mana.
Muli pabanja, muli ndiana, pali ena kozo umaona pano kuti tapeza ujeni British.
No, ndiri pabanja.
On a personal note, yeah.
Inde ndiri pabanja, nkazi wanga amachokera ku Machinga. Ngakhale ndakhala zaka zonse zikunja kumanakwatero Machinga.
Mukhana oli modzi amayi ku England.
Ali ku England. Komanso so ndiri ndi ana atatu. The first one Zakira ali ndi zaka 18. Then pali Ridwan 12, then Ziana 6.
Maina amene wa ku England konko?
Ndakonkuno.
Yoloyamba ya?
Zakira. Ndoso ndiri ndi Zakira tupikene ndi lachi yawo. Nde Ridwani ndi Utami. Utami mchiao ndi Khalidwe. Nde pali Ziana Lunda is intelligence. So yeah, also wali ku England. Kumama bwera last year tinabwera.
Titatha kukambira na zonse madzulo ano. Roderick Junaidi Kalumpha. Junaidi. Anali ku Malawi. Ndi anakakumana nda Brian Banda. Pa Times TV. Amalawi agone ndi yotani madzulo ano. Your final thought tonight.
My final thought is that Malawi dziko lindiratu tentilo tukule ndipo tizinyadira. Wanthu omwe ife taenda kunjafe tikabwera kuno timadzoti tili ndi golide, tili ndi ngodi, and ngodi wathu ndi umenewo ziko.
Ndikufuna ndikuyamikeni kwambiri bambo Kalumpha kuchokera komwe ku England. Ndikufuna ndikuyamikeni bambo Roderick Kalumpha mwatilemekeza kwambiri alendo ku England amasowa pamudzi pano komanso ovala white mwatilemekeza kwambiri and thank you for coming.
No, you're welcome.
Pameneponso ndiye pamapeto a programu yathu madzulo ano ya Times Exclusive. Mpulogalamu iyi ndinali ndi International Trade and Investment Expert kuchokera komwe ku London, ku United Kingdom, Bambo Kalumpha. Nine Brian Banda, kufikira Sabata yamawa pamene tibwerenso ndi mulendo wina, tingoti mwakomano onse and goodbye.